Do people in Canada have cable, like other people?
We keep this up in the playoffs. I don't care.
And at Chili's. Is it a Chili's? At Kyle's?
Achilles.
Finally.
You don't know that?
Fuck you! Get this guy the fuck out of here!
Alright, well, coming in at number 5, I got Anthony Stolars.
Now! Jets are winning the cup!
Thank you for watching and listening. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the NordCast. It is Thursday, January 15th, 2025. I am your host here, Nordic 97, joined with Kata and just Carter. Someday we'll get Jack in a 2026 episode. Carter, I'm sure you're in mourning with the Eagles' loss. How are we doing post that?
Morning with a lot of teams. Everything that happened from last episode to now has flipped 180. The Oregon Ducks suck. They got blown out by Indiana. The Eagles suck. They lose to the heavily injured 49ers, and the Flyers are on a losing streak. So, life's just amazing there. And of course, Jets have rattled off 3 straight wins. So.
Now they're back to the playoffs.
Life has done a full 180 in the world of sports for Carter. So that's pretty awesome. But good news, at least Dante Moore and Evan Stewart are coming back for the Oregon Ducks next year. Those who know college ball know how big that is for the Ducks.
What about somebody in Philadelphia getting fired?
I could spend an hour talking about how happy this makes me. I don't think there's enough words in the dictionary to describe how happy I am.
Describe it in 3 sentences. How bad he was this year for the Eagles. In 3 sentences.
Nail fucking Yakupov. all the talent in the world. All the talent in the world could not put garbage together for offense.
So he was kind of like Dean Evason this year with Columbus, where he had all that talent and he just could not make it work.
No, he's way worse than Dean Evason. Way, 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 way worse.
Wow.
When you go from one of the best offenses in the end, it'd be like as if Dean Evason went from having Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, and Kirill Kaprizov one year, and then he decided to flip them into, I don't know, let's say no offense to these players, Jordan Kyrou, Mikey Esamont, and let's go Kevin Stenlund.
Jesus Christ. That's a little offensive to Jordan Kyrou. Bro put them in the worst of the worst players.
I don't know. Because I didn't want to go too bad of players, and then I was like, man, I'm going to spend 5 minutes just trying to come up with players. And I'm just going to go with former 4th line Jets.
Jordan Kyrou was a former 4th line Jet.
No, that's why I said I was going to go with just random mid players, and then I was like, okay, I'm just going to be here for forever, so we're just going to move on.
Well, excuse me, because I don't really I'm into it, but I'm not really into it. Didn't their offensive coordinator from last year, didn't he leave, right?
Yeah, he's the head coach for the Saints.
Yeah, okay. And that went out good for them, huh?
Jalen Hurts is going into his 10th offensive coordinator in 11 years. However, they're not his fault, which is the crazy thing. Is they either get poached or they get fired because they did a horrible job. That's going back to his college days, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, they said on the broadcast or on the radio last night, it's 5th offensive coordinator in the last 5 years. That for a team that has won a Super Bowl and has been to a Super Bowl, how can you not keep one for at least 1 year? That's crazy.
Yeah, they either suck or they get poached. If Kellen Moore would have stayed, bro, the Eagles would be 16-0. But
yeah, we'd probably be talking about them in round 2 right now. But anyway,
probably.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about football. We're here to talk about hockey. Sorry about that, guys. Just wasted 5 minutes. So we got some news. Our top story for today is a coaching firing regarding Dean Evason, who has been let go by the Columbus Blue Jackets. Evason's tenure with Columbus was overall all right. Last year was great. This year has been really down the middle, really kind of struggling. The Blue Jackets right now have a record of 20-19-7. They were 19-19-7 when Evason was fired. They are second last in the Eastern Conference. They are 26th in the NHL. And now they're bringing in Rick Bowness, who, Carter, you know very well. And we're going to go to you a lot here to give your thoughts on Bowness becoming the new coach. Obviously, you were a Jets fan, and he was there with the Jets. But I want to ask you, what went wrong from this year to last year with this overall roster?
I don't know. We talked about it in the preseason, before the season started, about the moves that they were making and how they just kind of made no sense. They were a bubble team last year who barely missed out on the playoffs and was a relatively young team, but then out of nowhere just randomly decided to start buying. The moves that they made in the offseason just kind of made no sense. Because they brought in, what was it, Charlie Coyle? Did they bring in Danton Heinen, or was that a signing? I can't remember who the other one was.
Heinen was for Chenikov. That was a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
They got Coyle and Miles Wood for Gavin Brindley.
Yes.
Which was really
yeah. Miles Wood was the other guy. So and then on top of that, they trade for Mason Marchment. They were a team who had a lot of young-ish pieces with Fantilli, Sillinger, Marchenko is relatively young, Kent Johnson, right? And their back end's not bad. They just signed Zamula, who's 25 years old, and he's the youngest piece on that blue line right now, outside of Denton Mateychuk, but he's currently in the press box. They have some great defensemen in Zach Werenski, Ivan Provorov, right? And so they had some pieces here to... I'm trying to figure out how to say this, but they were never in a position to make the playoffs this year. I think that last year was a fluke. I think we said it numerous times last year, where they kind of just came out of nowhere. And when you have a team that kind of comes out of nowhere, you don't really want to make minor adjustments that can cost you young pieces in the year after that, because you don't know if it was just a fluke where you guys got hot. And let's say you start off the next season and you guys are pick up right back where you left off. You just missed the playoffs, but you start out the season hot. Then it's okay, we know we have a team here. Let's go out and let's get some pieces. But you can't commit to something before the season when there's a lot of uncertainties, right? So, I don't know. It also doesn't help that they haven't really been getting a lot of offense.
Yeah, last year, I have some examples to follow up on that last point, but last year was difficult because obviously Johnny Gaudreau passed away, and it felt like that team kind of took that loss. They used that as motivation for the whole year, and it was a phenomenal year. That team was fun to watch. Zach Werenski was over a point per game. There were some who, if Columbus had made that playoff spot over Montreal, I think we could be talking about a Werenski Norris trophy, as opposed to Makar, who won it last year. So I think that's part of it. We're going to play a fun game, Carter. So there's a couple of guys this year who have not performed offensively nearly to the level that they were last year. I want to start off with Kent Johnson. Carter, how many points did Johnson have last year, in your honest prediction? Just give me a number you think.
Oh, man.
A ballpark estimate. You can say 50 to 60 points or something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to say I think he was just under 60.
He had 57 points last year.
Okay.
Nice. In 68 games played. Was third in scoring, played awesome. Guess how many points he has so far this year through 45 games played?
I don't have to guess. I know because I was looking. I was looking at this. I was looking at this earlier. He's at 12 right now with 4 goals.
12. That is a absolutely insanely significant drop off. And when we looked at the Blue Jackets last year, like that was one of the guys that honestly was like a really big factor in this team, and how the young players were taking steps up. We looked at Kent Johnson as that big guy because last year, the year prior, he was in the AHL, and we were like, we need a big year out of him. And just this year has completely fallen back down to earth. Actually, he's been worse than what he was last year. Essentially, he was like banished to the fourth line under Evason this season, and it's just overall been a really bad year. Here's another one. Sean Monahan last year had 20 goals. This year only has 6 so far, 22 points. The offense has just completely depleted itself. The goaltending with Jed Greaves under the helm, it's actually been a little bit better, but to be honest, with Merzlikins and how he's looked, it's been absolutely terrible on that side. It feels like the Blue Jackets are still lost in this no man's land territory where they have these young guys, but they're not being used the right way. That's kind of how I look at the Blue Jackets right now. Now, Carter, you're a Jets fan, so I'm going to let you take over with this. What kind of coach was Bowness like in Winnipeg, and how is he going to help out this team? Is he going to be able to use the young players correctly? Systems are different with other teams, but how was he like in Winnipeg?
I mean, I think he was a good coach. I don't have anything bad to say about him. There were certain times kind of throughout the season where it seemed like, it felt like he could be a little bit, like he needed to be a little bit harsher on some of his younger players.
Yeah.
Especially the older ones, but he was the coach that was coming out straight away and right after the Paul Maurice and Blake Wheeler, Mark Scheifele, like hostile takeover, right? And he did the right thing. He instantly made Adam Lowry captain, which was the right play. He did what was right by the team. It was what the fans wanted. He was listening and he was understanding kind of what was going on throughout the team, and he made the right decisions. And I have no doubt that Rick Bowness will make the right call when it comes to getting this team back on track, because, I mean, this is a team that needs it. We were talking about, Kent Johnson and Sean Monahan, and like, I'm looking at some of their stats, and last year Kent Johnson had a higher goal for 60 than he does a point for 60 this year. Like, he's been brutal this year, and it's unfortunate to see because he's going into a year out, or he's a year out from being, or 2 years out from being an RFA. I apologize. So he's really got to start proving himself. Until he can, who knows what's going to happen? But I have no doubt that Rick Bowness will start to get these guys back on track. I don't think that it'll be this year. I don't expect to see Columbus with a 180 turnaround and they're, in a huge race for their playoff spot. But I do expect them to next season come into it with a new plan. Rick Bowness has had a full off season to kind of analyze this team and make the right moves, make the right decisions. So I think everything will be okay for them here.
So the way I look at this team, like, so what you're saying is that the season's done. Like, this season's over. They're not going back to a playoff spot.
I don't think so. Like, here, let me pull up. I mean,
that's kind of what you hinted there when you said that, like, Bowness will use this off season to bounce back next year. Are you giving up on this year? Is it over?
Like, I don't want to say that it's over, because obviously anything can happen, right? They're not too far out of a playoff spot here. Like, they're 7 points back. Like, it's not 7 points back midway through the season is not season ending, right? I'm just thinking of what we saw out of Columbus last year. I don't think that they're going to get back to that this year. I think it's going to take time. Especially with a lot of these young guys who have been molded towards this Dean Evason structure. I think it'll be a lot harder for them maybe to break out of that and be into this Rick Bowness system. He does run a very good system there, so I don't think it'll be too bad. But as far as getting the most out of, Kent Johnson, the most out of Sillinger, Fantilli, Monahan, I don't expect it to be this season. I think that giving them some time, it'd be beneficial for them.
I think they're obviously going to try and salvage this. Like, they're not going to come out and say, "Oh, the season is done." There's no way. But I mean, again, like I think what you really got to focus on is your young guys, and as you said, like those are the most valuable pieces to this team, without a doubt about it. Like, if these young guys don't work out, this team is set back for a good bit here for a couple of years. So they're in a rough spot as of right now. And again, there's definitely guys other than Kent Johnson who could be better. But again, Johnson's just the biggest one. I wouldn't say he's the scapegoat, but he is the guy we look at where it's like, wow, he really fell off a cliff this year compared to years previous. Hopefully the Blue Jackets can bounce back. Again, they have it doesn't hurt to get another top draft pick, but then at the same time, like we're coming up on year 6 of them not making the playoffs, and it feels like in terms of improvement, there really hasn't been a lot. Like, they find themselves in pretty much the same spot. And it sucks for me to say because last year was such an emotional year, and it was a great year for this team overall, but it was under rough circumstances. But that year, the further and further we get away from it, it does feel a lot like a fluke. It sucks to say, but it really does feel like a fluke. So we'll see what happens there with the Blue Jackets. But again, I think like they're not in a terrible spot, as you said. Like, they're really not that far away. They're only 7 points out. All it takes is a couple of wins strained together there in a row, and you are right back to where you were last year, where you were battling for a playoff spot. So we'll see what happens, of course. But again, we can say that all we want, but it's way easier said than done to get to that remark. So we'll see what happens there regarding Columbus. Next up, so kind of catching up on other news that happened since the last time we recorded. Again, it sucks. I wish we could do more than one podcast per week, but we can't do it with our schedules and stuff. So we gotta do it the way we can. We're gonna start it off in Ottawa. There was some rumors that were going on in Ottawa about a week ago at this point regarding Linus Ullmark and the Senators. So for those who may not know, there were rumors going around that Linus Ullmark apparently cheated on his wife, and then he told his wife that other players cheat on the road and stuff and all that. So the players' wives and things were like breaking up with them or whatever, and it was causing a whole negative thing in the locker room. It was posted on Twitter by an account that really was not that well known, and nobody really bothered. Like, I mean, people saw it, of course, but nobody really was like, not sure we believe this, to be honest with you. And then, like, it was present on other pages, but it wasn't exactly that big. And I can guarantee you, had the Senators not made a statement themselves talking about this, we would not be bringing it up here. So I'm going to read the statement, but I'm sure you've seen it already. I already gave my thoughts on the MVP because we recorded before that, but I want to turn it over to Carter after this. Our organization was extremely disappointed to read that the completely fabricated and false stories that are spreading around our social media about our hockey club. Linus is away from our team for personal reasons, and he has the entire organization's support. We ask that the people respect his privacy, but clearly that request was not heard by the lowest forums of trolls and sick people who scour the internet. We are disgusted that outside forces are attempting to disrupt our hockey club. This statement will put an end to the ridiculous speculation that has spread online. Carter, what do you think? I mean, I've already given my thoughts. So what do you think about this whole situation?
Yeah, I mean, one, they made it worse just by bringing it up. I would have never heard about this until obviously I saw the post on Instagram, and it's like, okay, well, what is this? And then people start digging, and it made people form more and more opinions. Had they not touched it, you just get the people who are actually researching into this. And I feel like not a lot of hockey fans really cared that much about it, right? Like everyone was just like, okay, he's away for personal reasons. Like there's nothing to really dig at here. But when you bring something up and you bring something to light, whether it's true or false, people are going to start digging and form their own opinions. And that's exactly what's happening. And the Senators now have to deal with that. I think that this is the stupidest thing to do. When it comes to a guy who's struggling with mental health issues, you don't add fuel to
The fire.
the fire.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. It's mental health is something that matters to a lot of players, and it matters to a lot of people too. It sure as hell matters a lot to me. And when people bring those kinds of things up, especially cheating on your wife, that is a low blow, man. Like it's truly disgusting that is something that people have resorted to bringing up and tried to pass off as, oh, this is the reason as to why he's taken a leave of absence from the team. And, you know, he explained it as, oh, all the players on the Ottawa Senators cheat on their wives. Dude, that's, do you know how dumb that sounds? Like that actually sounds stupid. Like, oh my gosh, it makes no sense to me. And I feel for Linus Ullmark, if this is some of the noise that he's hearing, that this is something, I hope and I pray that it's not affecting him, because mental health is something that has started to become taken a lot more seriously in hockey and in just the world in general. And you have some people who just can't accept that and will just continue to poke fun at the guy. And it's not fair. It's not fair to him. It's not fair to his wife. It's not fair to the Ottawa Senators. So I hope that people can just shut up about this and leave it alone, because Linus doesn't deserve this. His wife doesn't deserve this either. Like it's disgusting.
Well, I mean, you're going through things that are personal and all that, and you're going through like a mental health thing. Like, how do you, and I didn't even address this on the MVP. Like, we didn't even think about how Ullmark's thinking through all this. Like, how would you feel like you're going through a bad time? Not to mention his father passed away a little bit ago as well. That could have been it too. Like like those things have an impact also. And like you're going through that, and then all of a sudden you see on social media that you're cheating on your wife, and you're like, huh, I didn't know that. Like, you're going through, and again, I agree with you, mental health is a really big thing, and you're going through all this stuff, and then you see this rumor, oh, you know, Linus Ullmark cheated on his wife and then exposed it to the Sens team, and now they don't want him back or whatever. I think it's really messed up. It's a horrible situation. I can't even believe it gained this much steam, but I'm not going to lie to you. If the Senators never posted anything about it, I don't even think it would have been that big of a talking point, because there was really no fire behind it. But your team makes a statement like that, there is suddenly some fire. And it gives not only does it give the fans permission to believe this and actually talk about it and make fun of the Senators for it, if it really is true, it gives the media permission to talk to the players about this whole thing. Now, we played this on the MVP, but we'll play it here on the NordCast as well. This is Brady Tkachuk on the rumors when he was asked by the media on Saturday before they played Florida.
Yeah, not gonna lie, it's pretty fucking bullshit. I mean, I don't think anybody's pretty happy about a narrative being spread like that. I think it's okay for people to critique our on-ice performance, but when it gets into family, it's pretty fucking bullshit. So it's embarrassing that it got to the point that it did, and I could tell you for free, I'm not happy about it one bit.
I mean, I'm not surprised by that statement. I mean, like, what do you expect him to say? He's not gonna come on there and say, "Yeah, I banged somebody else that ain't my wife." But like, again, like, it opens a whole new world. It gives them permission to speak to the players with this. It almost guarantees that they can. I don't think anybody would have asked a question about it had this statement never been released. But you release this statement, you cause a lot more fire into it. I don't think it's true, even with the statement, because I don't think it's true. I think that's a ridiculous statement. I think there's really nothing to back that up, besides just, rumor. I never got why it got steam. Last bit here before you speak again. Claire Hanna, who is a Senators reporter on Linus Ullmark, has been around the Canadian Tire Center. They asked Travis Green about it. He said he's been around the rink. He skated this morning. All positives as he's hopefully approaching getting back with the team. So that was posted on the 13th on Tuesday. So there you go. Ullmark might be back sooner rather than later. But yeah, any more thoughts on the rumors? We're going to go into the Sens here a little bit more solely, but I want to know your thoughts.
No, I got nothing else to say. It's disgusting, and just leave Linus alone, man.
So yeah, it couldn't have come at a horrible time because the Senators at that point were in a 4-game losing streak. Their goaltender save percentage is one of the worst save percentages in the entire National Hockey League. And what's nuts, and I'll read off the team save percentage here real quickly. It ranks 32nd in the NHL. It's an .869. So that's absolutely brutal. .869 save percentage is completely terrible. That's among all their goalies, by the way. So Ullmark, Merolainen, Shepard, Sogard, a lot of other goalies have played for them. So I also saw this interesting stat, and it came from Puck Empire today. The Ottawa Senators are 15-2-2 when their goaltender puts up a positive goals saved above expected. What does that tell you, Carter? What is the issue what is the primal issue right now with this team? What does that tell you?
I think that it speaks for itself.
It does. It does speak for itself. So again, the issue is right there. It's your goaltending. And the worst possible thing you could have done is put out this statement for a goalie who's having a rough time right now about a rumor that's not even true. So I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe it was a thing, but we'll move off of that. We had to briefly talk about it. There you go. Okay, next up. So, New Jersey Devils talk. The Devils have been not great the last couple of weeks. They're 3-6-1 in their last 10. We briefly talked about them last week when we were doing our Olympic roster stuff and all that, about how Luke Hughes allowed 2 own goals, and then they followed it up with a 9-0 performance. Since then, they're 1-1. They lost to your Winnipeg Jets, which I thought was absolutely embarrassing. They did beat Minnesota because, of course, they did. Of course, they beat Quinn Hughes in the Wild. Today, Tom Fitzgerald had a press conference, and he said in that press conference, "Where we are right now is on me, and I am one to take accountability on myself." And he says that on the recent team struggles. There's also been rumors regarding a New Jersey Devils defenseman, Dougie Hamilton, as he was essentially scratched from his team. They said they were going to trade him, and then they didn't end up not trading him, and he played the other night against Minnesota. But the reason why I'm bringing this up again here is because there are reports of a trade may be happening. There's very harsh feelings on both sides regarding this. And Hamilton has 3 more years left on his contract, or 2 more years left on his contract at $9 million. And the Devils are reportedly not willing to retain salary on this guy. So I said it in my video or in the Nord and Block podcast about how this is completely on Tom Fitzgerald and how he has literally screwed over a player who he signed. I think this is a more broader term. We'll go into solely Hamilton in just a moment, but the fact that, and a lot of it is on Tom Fitzgerald, some of it is bad luck. The fact that after that 22-23 team, where we were in the first season of this podcast, We said multiple times, we're like, the Devils, they're going to go on this run. They're going to be a dangerous team for years. What have we gotten since then? One first-round appearance, a 5-game loss, a disastrous season where they missed the playoffs, and another season where they're on pace to miss the playoffs this year. They turned all that young talent into nothing. Into nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it's shocking to see from looking at the trajectory that this team was on, with them being so young and with them being a team that, didn't they take the Rangers pretty close in a series?
They beat the Rangers in 7. Then they
Right,
lost.
that was that one.
So they got to the second round with that young team, and then they proceeded to do nothing after that.
Yeah, and New York was one of the best teams, right?
Yeah.
Like they were one of those teams that it's like, hey, like let's wake up here. Like this is as a team we can beat anyone, and then it just changes, and they're like, you know what, we're good with just being, mediocre again. And I don't even know where else you go with this team because, I mean, obviously the Hughes injury is very bad. Consistently losing him every season does not help you at all. He has not played 82 games in his career. Has not done it.
One player should not be the make or break of your team. Like, even with Connor McDavid, like, if McDavid goes down, the Oilers will be okay. I know that sounds crazy. Like, if McKinnon went down, they'd be okay. Like, they would be fine. The thing is, though, is that the Devils only have Hughes. They have a couple other great guys, don't get me wrong, but, like, it's only Hughes. Hughes is the only guy that you look at there at that team, and you're like, yeah, he's their heart and soul, heart contender. Whereas you look at the Oilers, you look at the Avalanche, you look at these other teams, they have multiple guys. In my opinion, you got Jack Hughes, who's up there as like a bona fide top 10 elite player. And then it's like a big drop off the rest of the way. I don't know how it turned into that. Honestly, I mean, like, I can't believe like we're talking about this right now. It does come off of some fluky picks, like Alexander Holtz didn't work out. Dawson Mercer hasn't gone as good as they thought it would, neither has Luke Hughes. But the fact that this team has turned into that, and some of it is on Fitzgerald, some of it's on previous coaches, I can't believe it. I can't believe we're here. I can't believe we're actually at this point where, like, the Devils might just be a one-player team.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not good. Obviously, Jack Hughes is a point getter, and that's what he's there to do. Losing him should not completely tank your season, especially with some of the talent that you also have with Heischer, Brott, Meyer, right? Like, they need to make some moves. And once this Dougie Hamilton situation ends up being figured out, I think we'll start to see Fitzy start to make some moves around the team. Because right now, having a $9 million, dollar cap hit on the team doesn't allow you to make a lot of moves, especially with bringing in either smaller pieces to help the team or bigger pieces to help the team. So we'll have to see what he can do as soon as he's gone. So that'll be the number one thing to watch, because as soon as the first domino falls, I think we'll start to see a lot more. Yeah.
What are you saying with that? Are you saying like they're just going to sell?
I think it's more of a roster shakeup than a sell. I think we could see some guys end up going on the move. Like maybe they're done with waiting for Dawson Mercer to figure his crap out, right? Like he had a great 21 year when he was 21 years old, 56 points in 82 games. Great. He's been consistently playing 82 games, But then you look at his point totals, and it's like, man, like you got to figure out how to get points. Granted, he's having a bounce back year this year, somewhat. Where the previous year he had through 82 games, he had 36 points. Right now he's at 28 through 48 games played, so he's doing a lot better. He'd be on pace to finish with, I think, just under or just around 60 points ish. No, definitely not. He'd be at around probably close to what his career high is at 56. So
I can tell you, I can't think of his stats right now, but
yeah, I'm looking at them right now. So I mean, he's still been good. His point for 60 is actually at a pretty good rate right now. Third highest in his career, 1.54. So pretty good stuff from him there. So, I mean, maybe he could use a little bit more ice time. Maybe that might help him a little bit more. But, I mean, if he hasn't done it enough to really warrant it yet, it might be kind of wraps. I mean, he's at the highest time on ice for 5-on-5 in his career too. Same with power play per game. His average time on ice. And then he's running PK a bit too. So I don't know. I don't know what it is for Dawson Mercer, but I think if we see the Dougie Hamilton domino fall, Dawson Mercer could be a guy that we see get moved as well. Just based off of, if they want to win and they want to utilize this Jack Hughes $8 million cap, man, they're going to have to start bringing in some pieces. And why not? Why would a team not want to maybe take a chance on an 18th overall pick who's 24 turning 25? So
I mean, I think the first domino needs to fall, as you said, is Hamilton if they want to make other drastic changes. I think this team is generally frustrated they couldn't get Quinn Hughes. I think the fan base is. I think they're very upset. And I think, I'm going to be honest with you, I think it's not the first domino is not even Hamilton. I think it should be that Tom Fitzgerald should lose his job. He's been incompetent. He hasn't made the right moves. It's been long enough. You've already been through one coach who this team despised, and you bring in Sheldon Keefe, who is a very, very soft coach, has made this team very, very soft. He can be a hard ass. I understand that. But I look at the Devils. I mean, again, like the first guy that has to fall, obviously, is Dougie Hamilton. You need to free up that log jam that is your blue line. You have way too many guys on your back end to be even thinking about doing any other moves. You have way too many guys on your back end to even entertain it. So that needs to change. But for Hamilton, they're not willing to retain salary on him. 2 more years at $9 million. I can't see any team taking that. Not even a team that is like rebuilding, trying to get I can't. I can't see a team taking $9 million. Not mid-season. That's not a mid-season move. So, in my eyes, I think that needs to be discussed. But it's not a regular season thing. It's an off-season thing. And I think if you retain, you could maybe make a move. You could maybe pull it off. If you get Dougie Hamilton at like a 20% retained salary, I think you could pull it off. The thing is, though, the Devils are right up at the cap floor or the cap ceiling as it is to even entertain that. So it's just like, what do you do? Like they kind of screwed themselves over here. And this is a guy that Tom Fitzgerald signed. You did this. You did this to yourself. You turned a guy in Dougie Hamilton who was looked at to be so exciting and such a great player. And he was for a couple years. You've turned him into just a nothing player and a guy who was essentially blacklisted from your lineup and has just not had a good year. I think that's on Fitzgerald. I think Fitzgerald, he signed this guy and now he wants to get rid of him and he can't. I think that's on him. I think he has to own that. As for going down the next road, like they really could have used Quinn Hughes. That was a big thing. I think that was misused. I think that was poor judgment by Fitzgerald. I honestly think they didn't think he was going to be available at that time. that he was, but it is what it is. You look at the Devils; they're 5 points out of a playoff spot right now. We talked about the Blue Jackets; they're further in it than Columbus was, so I guess there's that. But overall, in the grand scheme of things, New Jersey, combined with their goaltending too that we haven't mentioned, they just feel like a team that they might be out of it this year. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I mean, maybe they can pull themselves out of this, but these midseason struggles, like, I don't know. If they keep struggling the way they may be, things could be bad, very bad here.
100%. They got to figure it out.
Yeah. So New Jersey, we'll see what happens there. I'm surprised there weren't really any other changes to this team, managerial-wise or roster-wise, before they head back home tonight. But they're home. It was a really bad road trip. Hopefully they improve. One team that has really improved, and they've been absolutely phenomenal, the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Atlantic Division is just so unfair. The top three teams, Montreal 6-2-2 in their last 10, Detroit 6-3-1 in their last 10, and Tampa Bay 10-0 in their last 10 with 11 straight wins. They are now third place in the entire NHL. They have one of the best goal differentials in the entire NHL. Second best, that is. They have the most wins. They have the most regulation wins. They have the third most goals scored. They have the second least goals allowed. They've been absolutely incredible this year. And I mean, Carter, I just kind of want to hear your thoughts on why that is. What has been so incredible for this team this year that they look like previous Lightning teams from before?
I mean, I think that, it's got to be what comes down to their stars. Nikita Kucherov. I mean, this guy is just an absolute machine. 67 points through 41 games with 23 goals. I mean, it's impressive stuff from him. Jake Gensel's still just consistent as he can be, right? 47 points in 45 games, 20 goals. They have 3 20-goal scorers already, which is just amazing to see. Darren Radish, where did he come from? He's their highest point-getting defenseman, 39 points in 39 games. Impressive stuff from him. Brandon Hagel, he's got 41 through 40. Braden Point's finally starting to figure his game out here again. And it's great to see. He is hurt. I think he's listed as week to week right now, or it might be day to day. It wasn't as bad as they originally thought it was. It looked like it could have been bad, but I think he should still be good for the Olympics there. He had a slow start, but I think he's finally starting to kind of pick it back up right now. He's got, 2, 4, 7, 8,
Yeah,
8 points in his last 5 games.
He's had
Impressive.
a painfully bad year. And that was a guy that was picked as a lock for Team Canada. It's really shocking how bad he's been, but the fact that Tampa Bay's done this without that, just imagine when he gets on. Like, you better watch out. And keep in mind, they've been doing this without Victor Hedman as well. He's been out for a little bit of the year. It's kind of nuts. Like, Hedman's only played 18 games this season. And that's probably why Darren Radish has become their number one defenseman. But anyway, Radish last year, 37 points. Radish this year, 39 points. We have half of the year to go still.
He's at a point per game, man.
Yeah. Another thing is, too, that I also want to highlight, their depth has been a lot better this year than it was in previous years. Charles-Edouard Daoust has become a really notable player on that blue line. Having Yanni Gourde for the full year has helped out with their depth. Gage Gonzalez is having a better year than the last. Pontus Holmberg has come in this year and has provided some good fourth-line depth. You look at Tampa Bay, one of their biggest problems the last few years has been their overall offensive depth. This year, it's been far better than what it was prior. So I think you got to give a lot of the credit to the depth, which has performed really well. But also, of course, Kucherov's been great. They're getting scoring from a lot of different places, which I think is very, very useful for this team. And again, like that's been a problem in previous years where they've come to the playoffs or they've been in the regular season and they just be completely slumped. This year, they've been a lot better in that regard as to keeping a more consistent scoring across their full lineup. So that's been the big thing with Tampa Bay. On the back end, Carter, you want to read off the goalie stats?
Yeah, I'd love to read the goalie stats. Goalie stat man is here.
Oh, yeah.
Andre Vasilevsky is looking great, as he pretty much always does. 915 save percentage and a 227 goals against average. Great stuff from him there. Jonas Johnson. He's been having a pretty decent year, especially for a backup goalie. Just under a 900 save percentage and a 273 goals against average. So I'm honest. I will say I am honestly a little bit shocked that Vasi is not getting as many chances in the net as I feel like he should. Was he hurt for a little bit?
He might have been. What's interesting, I really don't know. He might have been.
Oh, look.
I do think it might be a good thing, though. Maybe they are trying to rest him a little bit more before the playoffs, maybe give him some more rest. He probably was hurt. I can't think right now if he was injured at some point this year, but it's good to see that he's performing well.
He had he had 16 days off in December, where there's no games played for him there.
16 days off in December?
Yeah.
Oh, he was definitely injured. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Injured, for sure.
So he missed a few games there, so that's probably why his numbers are a little bit down. But I mean, still, I'm shocked that he's only at 28 games played right now. But they know exactly what they're doing, and it's clearly working for them. So, obviously, I'm not going to say anything to them there. How many? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got 8 of their 11 wins.
Wow.
So, good stuff.
So, I mean, again, like he's been phenomenal, but you also look at who they have behind the bench. John Cooper.
Give him the Jack Adams.
I mean, yeah, got to give him a consideration for that for sure. John Cooper just most recently coached his 1,000th game with the Lightning. He's been there for 14 seasons. Cooper's incredible. Again, like this is a guy, and I mean, we talked about him last episode with the Olympic teams. This is a guy with so much pedigree and so much just honor to his team and how good he's been. I mean, like it's phenomenal. He's been one of the best coaches in the history of the NHL. In terms of like the most games with one franchise, Cooper is getting up there on the list. I don't know if he gets to Al Arbor, which Al Arbor was there for 20 years with the New York Islanders. So that's a little long with a Lyle. He had 1,500 games coached in total with the Islanders, just solely. Cooper's at 1,006. So maybe he doesn't reach that goal. But again, like he's had a lot of games coached with that team. He's been there for a very, very long time. And has played awesome and has been an awesome coach. 2 Stanley Cups, 3 Cup finals. You do always wonder when, and I think I said this in the offseason and here on the podcast probably a lot, you always wonder when a guy will get fired eventually. But a couple first-round exits here over the last couple of years. We'll see what happens there, of course. But again, John Cooper leading this Tampa team. They've been incredible. So we thought we'd highlight them. They've been on a hot streak, and they played absolutely incredible here this season. So there you go. Tampa Bay gets in there for us here on the highlights. Other news around the NHL. So today, Jim Rutherford said in a post or said in a conference that they are not afraid or they are willing to have a conversation. Well, they're probably not afraid to either. They're willing to have a conversation with every player on the Canucks. for trade. So, I mean, Quinn Hughes is basically the guy who was moved off of. But, like, we've had this conversation before. The problem with Vancouver is that a lot of their guys who do have trade value are signed long term. So, it kind of shits them out of luck, to be completely honest with you, in regard to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for them there, but I mean, I feel like there's still some guys that would take on some of these contracts. Like Garland at $6 million is one that it's like, maybe someone might try and sniff around at that. My gosh, I'm blanking on his name.
So for me, Kiefer Sherwood is their biggest primal guy they can move off of. Like that's their number one guy. I think anybody else is crazy. We shouldn't even have that conversation. But I really do. I mean, like the other guys with term, in my opinion, I think you could have those conversations, but it's not a regular season thing. When he says every player, does that mean like Marco Rossi? Like, are you willing to have that conversation? I don't think they've trade Bouillon. I don't think they trade Ogren. But Rossi is a little bit older than those guys. Like, Rossi's 24. Like, do you have that conversation if the price is right? I don't know. He's hurt right now, though. So, I think for me the biggest thing I look at with Vancouver, and I was going through this last night. Like, I look at the Canucks. You know what really screwed them over? This past offseason, July 1st really kind of screwed this team over in the grand scheme of things, because if you don't remember, Carter, that day they signed Brock Besser to a 7-year deal, which he would have left in free agency anyway, but I think Besser is really regretting signing that contract. They signed Thatcher Demko to a 3-year, $8.5 million deal. He's currently on the last year of a $5 million deal. Had you not signed that deal, Demko could be a valuable trade asset. And now you're looking at him and Adam Foote, because Demko's not healthy. They might shut him down for the rest of the year. I believe Adam Foote said that here recently. I'll try and find the tweet, but
yes, I think he did.
It's not good. It's not good. And then Connor Garland too, 6 years, $6 million. He's on the last year of his contract too. Had you not signed these two guys, you have two trade pieces there who you could get a haul for, but you decided, no, let's just lock up everybody and ride with this team. And look how that turned out. Do you wonder if they did that for Quinn Hughes?
Maybe.
Quinn Hughes around? I don't get it.
Who knows?
Who knows? Did you hear about the whistling in Utah?
I did hear about that. I didn't fully understand it, but it makes sense.
There were fans that were whistling at the Utah Mammoth game. I'll pull up a video of it here real quick if I can find it. But it was really interesting. All right, I got a clip here. So this is from the game against the Senators a couple of days ago. Here is the whistling in the Utah Mammoth Arena.
Everybody whistling all of a sudden. This is something new at Delta Center. Jensen, that is very new.
That is very interesting, and I just realized I'm going to have to cut that part out because it's copyright. So I don't know why I had to share my screen, but great. Anyway, so there you go. That was really weird. What are your thoughts on that?
That's so annoying.
You think that's annoying? Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I hate that.
Like, if you're playing and you are hearing that, like, I think...
oh, dude, I'm not focused.
So Clayton Keller put out something, and there were some fans that were really upset about it. And I want to know what your thoughts are on his response.
Been pretty disruptive, to be honest. I don't know where it's stemming from, but if they could maybe quiet that down and do it after the game or before the game. But a lot of us have noticed it, and I think it'd be better if it was not a thing, to be honest. Like, I don't know, maybe do something else, but not worse.
Yeah, so he thinks it's pretty annoying. People were criticizing him regarding that statement as like he's saying, "Oh, the fans suck," and all that. And I was like, "What? No, he's not."
People don't understand anything, man. Like it's annoying. How would you feel if you were at your job and then all of a sudden, like thousands of people, like hundreds or maybe thousands of people are just
like, not only that, what happens at the beginning and end of plays when they start or end? There's a whistle.
Yeah.
It's also really, it's hard to follow the play too. Like Lawson Krause said that in his statement. Like, I mean, I don't think he was saying like the fans are stupid or anything like that. I think he was mainly just saying that like it's distracting and I would like you guys to stop. And the fans listened. The fans listened. They didn't do it again. But it was a very weird topic, I guess you could say. So, Philip Broberg, 6 years, $8 million with St. Louis. What do you think?
Good contract for him. I like it. I think that he earned it for sure. He's been one of their best defensemen. He's one of their young D-man too, even though he's not exactly really that young. I like this deal. I thought it was a good deal for both sides. I think, one, as I've said already, he's earned it. And two, when he eventually gets back to being healthy, I think that we're going to see some good things out of him here. So, yeah, I think $8 million is a fair price for him. I think that 8's the new 6. So if you put it into a perspective like that, heck of a contract. I love it.
The Carolina Hurricanes are considering offers on Jesperi Kotkaniemi. He's been involved in trade talks. He's been healthy scratched. This is a guy that's kind of in need of a fresh start. Now, for those who may not know, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, this is before the podcast time. He signed a offer sheet with the Carolina Hurricanes back in 2021. The Canadiens decided, no, we won't offer sheet that. It was revenge for the Aho offer sheet, even though the Canadiens didn't get Aho.
It's because they offer sheeted him and he accepted it.
How's that Montreal's fault?
Because they offered him.
Okay. But anyway, they offer sheet Kotkaniemi, who is nowhere near as good as Aho, by the way. When they offer sheeted him, I think we all were saying that. The Canadiens decided, no, we're not going to offer sheet. Kotkaniemi comes in there that year, 21-22, 66 games played, 12 goals, 17 assists, 29 points. He was okay, I guess. The following year, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
82 games played, 18 goals, 25 assists, 43 points. It's okay. Don Waddell signs him to an 8-year, $38.56 million contract overall. $4.82 million. 8 years. 8 years of 8 years. He had 30 points that year. The year that deal was signed. The next year, he was better. 43 points in 82 games played. Half a point per game. The following year, 27 points in 79 games played. Last year, 33 points in 78 games played. This year, 6 points in 27 games played. 8 years for this guy. 8 freaking years.
Mm-hmm.
And they got 4 more years left after this year. We're in year 4. And this is the first year of the modified no trade clause, by the way. So there's a no trade clause in this. Because of course there is. I think it's a 10 team. Like I
Probably.
that deal never made any sense to me, and it still doesn't make any sense to me. And it honestly might be part of what's holding the Carolina Hurricanes back from being a real contender. Because you got $4 million in just, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, dead cap on your roster. Dead cap. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Buffalo is expected to be the host city for the 2026 NHL draft. It'll be decentralized. The teams will be off-site. I don't mind that.
I don't like it. I like centralized. We've been over this. I love the centralized draft. My favorite.
I meant the host city. The host city's fine. I hate the decentralized stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah, good. I was about to say, I swear you were with me like last year, but
no, yeah, I don't mind the city being the host. They were talking about like Montreal. I was like, again, really? Give other teams a chance. So, last piece of news. And this is regarding ECHL news. And I got some questions to ask you here on your thoughts on this new logo. The Trenton Ironhawks will be the new team. The relocating team is the Utah Grizzlies. They are leaving Utah. They are relocating to Trenton, New Jersey. So for the Royals fans who watch this podcast, we will be doing plenty of coverage on them, but this is the brand new Trenton Ironhawks logo. What do you think?
that's pretty sick.
I love the blue that's mixed in there with it. I think this is very nice.
I agree. I think it's cool.
The only thing that makes it look iron is just like the dots that indicate that iron colored or whatever. Thought that was interesting, but yeah, I thought I'd bring that up. I think that's very, very cool. All right. Last thing here before we wrap up the show. I saw this on Twitter, and I thought it'd make a cool discussion. So this was a proposed division realignment. It's really not that serious. It's from Talking Hockey on Instagram. It denotes all the different teams into different divisions. So I'll read them off here. Status and Power Division composes of the Golden Knights, Kings, Capitals, Sens, Stars, and Blues. The Weather Channel Division, which is Hurricanes, Lightning, Avalanche. I didn't know Avalanche was a weather. Wild. What is weather about Wild? The Flames and the Maple Leafs. What's weather about Leafs? People Division, Blackhawks, Canadians, Blue Jackets, Rangers, and Devils. Flight Division, which I guess makes the most sense, even though Penguins can't fly. Flyers, Jets, Red Wings, Ducks, Penguins. The Murder Zoo Division, Panthers, Mammoth, Predators, Sabres, Bruins. And then the Ocean Division, Kraken, Sharks, Canucks, Islanders, and Oilers. Oil in the ocean, yes. Very good for the ocean.
They have oil rigs in there, but talk.
Okay, but whatever.
Talk your shit, twin.
What do you think about this?
I think it's great just because I'd be able to see Jets and Flyers more than once a season.
Though, man.
Other than that, I hate it. No, I'm just kidding. It's fun. It's fun.
It's fun. This would never work though.
Obviously not.
Look at the Weather Channel division. Look at all those teams, and then look at the Calgary Flames. Man, that'd just be like they'd lose every game. That'd be brutal. Same can be said for the Murder Zoo. Nashville would get obliterated. So would Buffalo.
Yeah.
Not pretty.
Yeah.
It is kind of.
I mean, the Canadians would be running away with the People Division.
Probably. You're probably right. I mean, Chicago would be good, but it's still like.
Yeah.
So, last little bit there to bring up on the podcast. All right, that will conclude this episode of the NordCast. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We'll be back next week for another episode once again. Maybe Jack will join us. Who the hell knows? We'll see. But yeah, let us know your thoughts down below. Thank you all for watching. We will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to yet again another episode of the NordCast. If you enjoyed, please subscribe down below or follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you want to follow us on TikTok, we are at NordCast. If you want to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, follow at NordCast_. That'll do it for this episode. I'm Nordic. Thanks for listening from all the crew, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.